Hi, we're Joel and Lia.
And today we thought we'd do something very different.
Yeah, very different. We're gonna solve your problems. So we've had some people write in with their problems, ranging from relationships to their family relationships to, I don't know, anything. We've asked for these issues to be sent to us and they're going to be anonymous. And we're going to answer them.
All anonymous. I will try my best not to say any names because I'm the worst for that.
Yeah, no names here. And if there are names in the story, then there'll be fake names. But if you want to send your problems to us, we're going to make this a new series. This is, as we said, it's a little bit different.
We say this about everything we do. We're like, this is going to be a new series.
And then it doesn't
and
last.
It never happens.
But it should be fun.
Happen. Yeah, we're going to commit to this one.
Yeah.
All right, let's start it off with the first agony aunt query.
Okay, so this person says, my daughter has recently split from her boyfriend. We were the family he never had and I miss him terribly. I think, so this is the mum that misses the boyfriend.
Oof.
For the past 5 years, he spent Christmas with us. However, this year, my daughter has invited her new boyfriend, who not any of us are keen on, and she also insists I am not to invite her ex, who is still in love with her. I'm so upset and I know he will have nowhere to go, he won't receive any presents and feel disowned by us. Plus, the new boyfriend has a huge family and isn't even keen on coming to ours. I'm now beginning to dread Christmas. Would very much appreciate your advice.
I should not laugh, that's not funny, but my first instinct was, are you sure you're not in love with the boyfriend?
It's true. Like, why? I get it, okay, if the boyfriend, the ex-boyfriend, sorry, has like not a very close family, he never gets Christmas presents and stuff, I get that you've grown close to him and you feel for him, but it's not your place to invite him to Christmas. It's your daughter's ex-boyfriend.
I would be absolutely mortified if someone invited my ex-boyfriend to Christmas.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that would be horrendous.
But this isn't about us. This isn't about us. What I would say is that as like parents, you probably feel like really good about yourself when you fix people's problems. And like right now, well, before, when the guy was coming over and you were his family he never had, you probably felt like you were just filling that hole in his life and fixing all his problems, and that probably felt amazing for both parties.
Yeah.
But right now, that's not your beef anymore.
No.
So I think you do just have to move on from this and trust that that person will find happiness on Christmas. It's not you're not Mrs. Claus.
You're not Mrs. Claus. I mean, maybe she is.
Maybe you are Mrs. Claus.
And it's hard when she doesn't like the new boyfriend as well, and the whole family doesn't. That is tough. But you have to trust your daughter. And I'd say, some practical advice, maybe buy the ex-boyfriend a Christmas present. Maybe send him a card. Go for a coffee with him. Go for a mince pie and a mulled wine with him. At a push. But do not invite him to your house. Like, I even think that probably, as you're reacting, is a bit too far. But if you feel that guilty about him not having a family and not getting any presents, then buy him a present, but just don't invite him back into your family's life.
You're basically saying you can be a pen pal, you can be a person that reaches out.
Be a nice, supportive human being.
Yeah, we knew each other in a past life before my daughter got with a new guy. And about the new guy, just try not to compare the two, because no two people are ever going to be the same.
No.
You know, don't just be like to the new boyfriend, never compare yourself to the last one.
Yeah.
He was so much better than you.
He was so much better than you.
Like, it's going to be really hard.
It will be so awkward.
I think that will cause like huge friction between you and your daughter. So that's our advice. Remember, you can't solve the world's problems.
You can't.
The next one is, my 14-year-old son has told me that he's being bullied at school and I don't know what to do. He struggled with telling me and now he refuses to talk to me about it since I told him I would speak to the headmaster to get it sorted. The bullies aren't just targeting my son but other vulnerable boys too. It started when we moved last month and my son had to go to a new school. He's only slightly built and an easy target. Slightly built.
I think small, yeah.
He's trying hard to fit in with the in crowd who are trying to control his every move. I'm upset and I just want to protect him. What can I do? That's really hard. I think being a new kid at any new school must be really, really hard. And also dealing with bullies must be horrendous. I remember when, I know this is not about your son, but I was mortified when my mum went straight to the headmaster about a girl that was saying horrible things about me, and then made the girl do a forced apology to me, and I felt like I hated every moment of it. So I don't know if that's going to be the right dynamic, like going straight to the head teacher Maybe just go straight to the boys' parents that are bullying your son. Maybe keep the headmaster out of it, because it's like the authorities. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like go straight to the source.
Yeah.
Knock on their door. Knock on their door and be like, "Do you know what your son's doing at school?" To my son, it's not very nice. Is this how you want to raise your children?
I don't know, because I was bullied at school, so I've got some experience with this, and I know, like you said, the last thing you want your parents to do is interfere because you think it's going to make it worse, and it is embarrassing.
Yeah.
But it actually, in my experience, it works, because these kids are young enough, 14, to be intimidated by teachers and parents. They don't want to be told off, I think, even if they're a bit rebellious. So like when I eventually like approached the head of year of my year group and everything, or my parents did, like they called a massive meeting, gave them a massive telling off and detentions and everything, and they were watching their every move, and those boys never like touched me ever again, even like came close or like saying horrible things, because they were scared of getting in trouble. And I think they were like, oh, we can't get away with it with him, whereas we can get away with it with that kid because he doesn't tell anyone he's being bullied. So I can sort of see that it could help if you did, but
it's hard. It's hard. Yeah, you're like, go to the head teacher. I'm like, go to the parents.
I know. Well, either one could work, but it depends if, you know, that child might have learnt that bad behaviour from their parents. Their parents might not care.
Yeah, true.
So
then you might have to go to school.
Yeah.
And you don't want to just keep moving to another school. Like, that can't be the issue.
But just be rest assured as well that your child will grow through it. It's horrible to think that your child even needs to be bullied to grow, and they don't. But he will learn stuff through it. So, yeah, obviously if his safety's in danger, then you've got to do something. But if it is just name calling, teach your son how to deal with it rather than just going to the source, I think.
Yeah, it's so true. And also, Joel, I just think bullies are going through so much stuff themselves.
Yeah.
Did I tell you about Shannon, the girl that bullied me at school? She committed suicide. So you just never know what's... I know this is like however many years on, 15 years later, the girl that was like saying horrible things about me and anyone that was a little bit brown, just committed suicide. So I just think everyone's hurting, aren't they? The bullies are hurting. So I don't know, I just think everyone can be healed.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, it is a hard one.
Horrible.
I think you do have to do something about it though, because you are the grown-up that's responsible for him and you are seeing this happen, so you need to do something about it, even if your son says... I mean, we've got different advice here, but I think you should just do it.
Go to the teacher.
Yeah.
Go to the head teacher.
Yeah, because they might get expelled. You could get them expelled, which would solve all the problems, because they have to move school, not your son. Next one, okay. I don't want to laugh at this one because I think it's really funny, but it's not, because it's a serious problem.
Okay.
My husband's driving is becoming increasingly alarming. We are both in our mid-60s and retired, and frequently travel to visit our son and his family some 50 miles away. Trips with him at the wheel feel dangerous, with him ignoring speed limits and road signs and crossing lanes with scant regard for other road users. He is terribly impatient and constantly swears loudly. After a car journey, I feel a nervous wreck, yet he seems to get pleasure out of upsetting me. I also worry when he is driving on his own, as he is often fiddling with the radio or adjusting his sat-nav. Any attempt to pass comment or discuss this simply is met with hostility, however I approach it. What can I do? He sounds like he's going through a midlife crisis.
I just think... I wouldn't get in the car with that person. No. I know you've said that you tried to talk to him about it, but is that trying to talk to him about it whilst he's driving? Have you ever tried to have this conversation outside of the car?
Yeah.
I know you can't answer right now, but I just think you should try again to have one more sit down conversation and just say, look, I'm not getting in the car with you. I will find a different way to go and see. Yeah. Is it grandson?
Son, I think.
Son. The fact that you think he's getting pleasure out of the fact that he's winding you up with the road and safety, weird. That's so dark.
Maybe he's got like dementia or something, because then people with dementia start to forget like the rules of society and like, and if this is a recent change in behaviour and you're in your mid-60s and retired, maybe you should go to the doctor and like see if something has changed up there, because it does sound a little bit unhinged to like drive really dangerously and then laugh about it. Yeah. Like, that's very weird.
I don't know where you're from, but I swear in the UK we have to do that thing where you get to a certain age and you have to either... they have to decide whether you're okay to carry on being on the roads. Does that ring a bell?
No,
I just remember my grandma
exists.
talking about it.
No, I think if you get diagnosed with something, you do. But this is the whole thing where loads of people have been campaigning for older people to have to resit their test. But it still doesn't exist. And yet you get 80-year-olds in the UK driving.
Oh, okay. It doesn't exist.
No.
I thought maybe it did, but it doesn't.
I think there are situations where you can get retested. But...
Maybe I think I've heard about it in terms of like vision and people with eye problems. But I think there's something they have to do again to deem if they are. But maybe an optician says you can or you can't.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. But look into this with like, you know.
And maybe if not, try and scare him. Maybe next time he's reversing off the driveway, hit the car and then lay on the floor and pretend he's hit you with the car. Scare him into driving safely.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's. I don't really know what else to say other than don't get in the car.
Yeah, don't get in the car.
I wouldn't get in the car.
Get your son to pick you up.
Yeah, good point, Joel.
Yeah, and tell your son. Get the whole family to intervene.
Yeah.
An intervention.
In numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Because he might weirdly listen if it's coming from his son rather than his wife, because some men are like that.
I'm a 55-year-old lady, and after 20 years of marriage and a subsequent divorce, I am ready to start looking to meet a gentleman. But I'm worried about joining a dating website. Although I'm wanting to, I'm scared that the date could be a disaster. I'm concerned that the type of man that I may attract, and also that on meeting him, he may be different to how he appears online. Catfish. However, if I sit back and do nothing, I may never meet a partner to share the rest of my life with. I am just looking for some guidance and direction regarding this dilemma. Can you help me?
Oh, Susan. Can we call you Susan?
Let's go for Susan.
Let's go for Susan. Susan, just do it.
It sounds as if you're like a really balanced person. You know, you're like, these are the pros.
She's probably a Libra.
Like you.
Like me, with the scales.
Yeah, she's going like, if I don't do it, I'll probably never meet someone. But if I do it, I might meet the wrong kind of person. I might, the date could be a disaster. He might not look he might not appear what he looks like online. So I think... you know deep down that the answer is that you have to do it. You can't, nothing ventured, nothing gained.
Yeah.
If you don't do it, you're gonna have to try and meet someone organically, and it's so hard these days.
It's hard, and do you know what? It's hard because she's 55 years old, and probably when you you had a husband? Yeah, you had a divorce. When you met your husband, you probably met him in person, and you did meet organically and naturally, as most people did of your generation. But in our generation, it's so normal to do online dating. It's not scary. It can feel scary, absolutely, and I empathize with that. But it isn't that scary because you're not having to do anything you don't want to do. So I would say just do it. Put yourself on there, create a profile, and just be there. See what comes in. Maybe send a few messages. And if you don't want to meet up with anyone, you don't have to.
Yeah, you don't have to actually go on any of these dates. You can initiate what you want to happen.
Yeah, you're in control.
Yeah, so you just decide what you want to get out of this. It sounds as if you want to meet someone that you really like. And you know what? A lot of people on there also really want to meet someone that they actually like, and they don't want to get catfished. So I think it's really easy for a lot of people to be on, say, Tinder or Bumble or Hinge and say like, oh, everyone on here is rubbish. But there's a lot of people saying that, so there must be good people on there.
There must be.
Do you know what I mean?
And if you're worried about someone turning up and not being who they are, I like to do a pre-screening. So you started talking to someone, it's going well, and they want to meet for a first date, and you're like, oh, I just don't want to commit to like spending a whole hour or two with you. So you're like, let's FaceTime, and you just do that, and then you get the sense of like how their face moves, 3D, how they talk, what their personality's like, without leaving the comfort of your own home. So I am a big fan of the pre-screening. Some people, it's very controversial, some people hate that because they're like, it takes all the fun away from dating. You're supposed to like meet in person for the first time, and I'm like, no, I don't want to waste my time.
Yeah, you're just efficient.
Yeah.
You're not like leaving the house gambling every time.
No.
I'm not a gambler.
I'm not going to spend money on going into town, spend money on a coffee or a cake or whatever it is.
I was like getting ready.
I mean, just to be disappointed.
Ready for the FaceTime?
No. I think because I'm a YouTuber, I find it so easy. I'm just like, hey, what's up? Like, whereas like,
you just use your laptop as a phone. Hello.
Using an iPad as a.
Good to see you. And then you're like, you just talk for a bit. I'll just look.
Yeah, that's it. Do I like you? And then if you don't like them, you just go. And then you're like, sorry, cut off.
Sorry. really unavailable.
Yeah.
I mean, I like that. Think that can work, and I think there are good people out there that also have good intentions that are, you know, the same age as you. There's a ton of people out there.
There is. So just dive straight in, Susan.
Yeah, no fear. I mean, there will be fear, but
yeah.
No fear.
Do it. Feel the fear and do it anyway.
Anyway, good book.
There we go.
Good book.
Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. It is a little bit different. It's fun for us to do something different.
Different.
Let us know if you enjoyed it, and if you would like to send us your problems and we'll answer them anonymously, then do that. Email us, DM us on Instagram, whatever.
Okay, as Joel said, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We post videos every single week. Links to social media all in the description, and we'll see you soon.
See you soon, guys.
Bye.
Bye.